I'm back from my run. I feel really proud of myself. I did 20 kilometers today. It wasn't a particularly fast run, but I did 20 kilometers and I'm proud of that. For a lot of people that may not be very far, and for others that is really far. For me, I have been running for many years, but I don't usually do 20 kilometers. I was doing 10 kilometers regularly. That was my run. Sometimes it was shorter if I was doing trail runs. And I'm telling you, this diet has given me tons of energy. It's very anti-inflammatory, so after I do a run, I feel ready to go the next day because I don't have all the inflammation in my muscles. So that recovery time has really impacted just how far I can go when I'm running. So I'm ready to make a smoothie. So I'm going to put 500 mils of filtered water. I'm going to put turmeric. The reason why I put turmeric in is because of its main ingredient, or active ingredient, which is curcumin. And it's got anti-inflammatory and antioxidant benefits. So that's good for preventing cancer. It's good for inflammatory bowel disease. It's good for any inflammation in your body. So I'm going to use some of that. I try to have turmeric every day. I don't always get it, but I do try. And actually I'm going to be having it for supper tonight too. Flax, and this is valley flax, so it's a local flax, and I usually put this in my smoothie. It's got omega-3s in it. And for anyone that finds that gluten bothers them, or they are actually celiac, this is gluten-free. So I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of that. I'm going to use what kale was left in our raised bed garden. We've had frost and snow, and still... The kale is perfect, so I'm going to put that in. There wasn't a whole lot left, so I'm also going to add a good handful of spinach. Pack that in there. Now, this is one of my favorite things to put in my smoothies. It is organic matcha, which is green tea leaves ground up. I really do find it gives an excellent boost of energy. If I didn't have enough energy already from this style of eating with the whole food plant-based diet, then this is going to give it to me. I used to always have coffee at lunch. If I didn't have a coffee, I was yawning all afternoon. I was so tired. Since switching to this style of eating with the whole food plant-based diet, I have not had that anymore. I do quite often have this. I don't need to have it, but I do quite often have this because I do put it in a smoothie, and I have smoothies probably about for half of my lunches, especially when I'm working. I always have a smoothie. So I put this in. I just find it gives a really good boost of energy, not a big high like a coffee with, a big low. It just gives you, a nice steady energy, and of course it also has loads of antioxidants, and there has been studies showing that the use of green tea can lower your risk of breast cancer. So hey, why not? And I'll put in a teaspoon of this. Now the last thing I'm going to add, and this is my latest and greatest powder that I'm putting in my smoothies, spirulina. It is a green algae, and it is the most essential nutrient dense food on the planet. It also has a lot of protein for the amount you use. So for every 3/4 of a teaspoon, you get 3 grams of protein, which is really good. And as you'll learn, you don't need to eat a lot of protein, but getting it with your essential nutrients, you do need protein, and you just don't need tons of it. I was a whey protein person. I ate it for years in my smoothies, and I've gotten away with it, and this is what I've replaced my whey protein with. These 3 products. Sometimes I also use maca powder, but I'm not using it today. So I'm going to add this, and this gives a really, really nice rich green. So you can see that the green tea matcha powder is a light green, and this is a really, really deep green. So I'm going to use 2 teaspoons of this. Okay? And then bananas, frozen bananas. I always get my bananas for freezing, or sometimes just for eating fresh, from the 50% off. They have bags both at Superstore and Sobeys of 50% off bananas. I've got some spots on them. Sometimes they're really rotten, but most of the time they just got a few spots on them, and they're still really good to eat. They're always excellent for freezing and putting in your smoothie. So it's a great way to save money, because I eat a lot of bananas. Not that bananas are expensive, but hey, every dollar counts. So I'm going to put 2 in there. Bananas also have a fair amount of protein, so at least, because also the spinach and the kale has protein. And I didn't say about kale, everybody knows that it's a really good food to eat. One of the things people may not know, they may or may not know, is that it's really high in calcium. So we're not eating milk anymore. I'm not consuming cheese. So I'm having kale. And kale is so rich in calcium, so it's a replacement for all that dairy and without any fat and all the other benefits. One of the other benefits of kale is it's got a lot of vitamin K in it. So that has also been shown to be really great in preventing osteoporosis. So both the calcium in it and the vitamin K is an excellent way to help prevent osteoporosis, and of course getting out and exercising, which is really key for osteoporosis. Okay, so I've got my trusty Ninja, and I'm going to blend. As you can see, the Ninja had no problem pulverizing the kale, the frozen mango, the banana, the spinach. No problem at all, so I'm very happy with it. This is a really nice, thick, filling drink. Some people, I know when I eat this at work, some people get a little bit grossed out because it's really, really green. But I just think, oh, look at all that goodness in there. It is so good for you. And it tastes really good. I'm not kidding you. It tastes mostly sweet. There's no bitterness. It's just really, really delicious. And when I have this, it fills me up. And I know I'm getting all sorts of good, great nutrients. So enjoy.